The old one-legger. This comes up a lot, and guess what? This video is inspired by Sheena, my wife, and a very valuable part of this team. I'm having lunch with her, and I say, Sheena, what's a good video idea? She goes, talk about dealing with one-leggers. And if you don't know what a one-legger is, that's because there's two decision makers, typically in a household, and one of them isn't home. Therefore, you only have the opportunity to speak to one of them. Now, traditional sales advice is this. Don't waste your time. Set the appointment when both decision makers are home so you don't have to come back. I'm about to call hooky on that. You may disagree with me, and I'll tell you this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'd love to give you a fresh perspective on this whole situation because frankly, I loved one-leggers and I had an incredibly high close rate when dealing with one-leggers. Again, that one decision maker home. So I'm gonna push the envelope, challenge the traditional avenues of sales approaches, and give you a few tools in the old toolbox to use to not only deal with these one-leggers, but close them. So if you are joining me again, welcome back. I am super pumped to have you here. And if you're not, welcome to the channel. My name is Adam Bensman, the Roof Strategist. And everything I do here on the YouTube channel, my podcast, and in my training dashboard is designed to help you and your team smash your income goal in roofing sales. And you might notice that I have a little bit more pep in my step today than normal, and that is because I got an email from Lucian that totally made my day. And I'm gonna read you just part of it. Let's give you a little teaser. So this is an actual email. I know that the lighting this close doesn't look so good, but I wanna show you that this, come on now, whoop, there we go, is a real email. I'm gonna read it for you. So Lucian says, hey Adam, hope all's well with you. It is, thank you. And he says, just wanted to let you know I was able to secure the townhome job. Sweet, it gets better. 32 units, a bit over 600 square. So we're gonna write this down. So 32 units, 600 square. And he says, by the end of my project, my commission will be over $120,000. $120,000. I can't thank you enough for all your support, sales training, and tactics. By the way, Lucian is using the battle pack as well. And he says, if I hadn't stumbled across your YouTube channel when I first started, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I've revised my goal to $225,000 in commission for my first year, and I'm sitting at about 185 grand right now. We haven't even had a single storm yet. Then it gets better. Not too bad for a little over 4 months in the business. No, not too bad at all. So Lucian, congratulations. You, my friend, are my why and the reason for the energy here. So let's smash your income goals. And if you haven't done it yet, I want you to head over for this free offer to www.theroofstrategist.com so you can get a free copy of my Pitch Like a Pro Roofing Sales Training video library, completely free. Start with any starter pack or track that you need help with right now. Canvassing, objections, closing, generating leads using direct mail, working insurance agents, helping with the install, you name it. I mean, it's 240 videos. How do I keep track? That's why it's there. So head on over there right now, www.theroofstrategist.com for your free copy. And now let's get back into today's video as I scoop up the old runaway pencil. All right, so one-leggers. Why do people tell you to come back? Because they want both decision makers there. So we're gonna practice our artwork again. As you can see, I got my master's in art school. I did not, but my degree was equally as useful. So here's the two decision makers. Now, what are we trying to do ultimately? This is a fun way to look at sales. Ultimately, we're like what? We're like politicians in a way. Now, what do I mean by like politicians? I don't mean sleazy, slimy, and corrupt. I'm not gonna share my political opinions here, but we're not like a politician in that way. What we're like a politician for is we need 2 votes. What are those votes? We need 2 votes from both decision makers to equal what? Yeah, a yes vote and a yes vote. So what people are afraid of on this one-legger is running out, and instead of this person saying yes, he or she scratches the vote. Now you've wasted all this time. The deal falls apart. It's a sob story, end of deal, right? No, well, that's not how it works. So I want to give you a few different perspectives on how to get these 2 votes when you only have the attention of one partner in the couple to get on your side. Well, here's the good news. You have an easy in to get the yes vote from one of these parties. And here's how I do it. So a couple things to get out of the gate. 1, you need to win them over, okay? Win them over. You need to get a yes or as close to a yes as you can from the person that you are presenting to. 2, you will attempt to close on the spot. Okay, now I'm going to show you how. You're going to say, hey, a lot of people aren't going to sign. I've got some tips, tricks, strategies to help you do that. Next, we are going to ask the questions that get them on your side. And then finally, if we don't close it, we're going to set the follow-up. And I want to walk you through each and every one of these. This, my friend, is what we were covering. So first, how do we win them over? You must match their energy. Everyone knows the quirks of their partner, all right? At the end of the day, I'll be frank with you. My wife, her name is Sheena, she suggested today's video. She is a very valuable member of this team. We're having lunch. I said, Sheena, what video should I do? She goes, do one on one-leggers. So that's a great idea because she hates the traditional pushy sales stuff where you're getting together. She sniffs that stuff out like a bloodhound. And she has a bloodhound nose, so makes sense. So the idea is to win them over. So here's the deal. My wife, Sheena, makes the final decision. I am almost always leading with the questions and the engagement through a sales process. And then what do I do when we get to that point? If I'm on board, I just turn to her. Like that's it. I'm like a trained puppy dog. I'm like, all right, babe, what is it? Are we doing this? Are we not doing this? You're the one that's going to make the decision. So that's our dynamic. By the way, Sheena's nickname is Beans. She's also the bean counter in our business, and she handles all the financials. She also handles it in our household. So I look and say, hey, Beans, what are we doing? Now, every couple is going to have that kind of dynamic. So what we need to do is kind of figure out which person in the couple is in charge of making those final decisions. And you can do this by asking questions. Hey, I know with my wife and I, my girlfriend and I, whatever it is for your story, I'll just share mine. My wife and I, she's the one that makes all the decisions. I happen to be the one that asks all the questions. So while I'm here, I know that you want to be on the same page. It's important to do that. But which one of you is like, what are your like respective roles? How do you guys do these things? And they'll share with you so you can win them over and match their energy. Now, folks that are tuning in, everyone has to match energy in a different way. I am not a large human being. I'm a 5'3" dude, all right? It's a very short guy. Got made fun of my whole life, still do to this day. But it's worked in my favor. Why? Because it's non-threatening. So when I show up at the door, like my wife, she jokes, she goes, yeah, if you show up at the door, the reason you did so well with like stay-at-home moms, for example, is they'll look at you and be like, I could take you. And I laugh at that, right? I'm like, little do you know. So anyway, we know that like, if a gentleman, for example, shows up and he's 300 pounds and like 6'7", and a little old lady answers the door, there's a power dynamic in place that can be threatening to someone. So make sure as you win them over to read their body language and match their energy. Oftentimes people feel more vulnerable when their spouse or significant other is not home, right? So be mindful of this. Create a little extra space and match their energy. Focus on winning them over by asking questions about their roles, and especially as you get further along in the process, you can even ask, hey, you know, I'm just curious, like if it's your vote, I know you both have to be on the same page, where are you at? Once they say, so what do we need to do to win over your, and then whatever it is, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, okay? Ask those questions. It's just gonna help me help you. Now, we've covered winning them over, we've covered asking questions, and we're gonna get to the yes in the attempt to close now. So, what do we do to win the yes? All we need to do is focus on one person, the person whose captive attention we have, to earn the trust and the credibility to get a yes from him or her. And we do that by solely focusing on them. It doesn't matter what the other partner has to say or do, because remember, we're a politician right now going in to get 2 yes votes. And if I can get 1 at this appointment, I am halfway there. I suck at math, but I think I nailed that one. So let's get to yes, all right? By focusing on his or her needs, that one person who is in front of you to win them over. Now, this is where you guys and gals may be saying, Adam, you can't close these one-leggers, and I'm gonna say, you betcha I have. It's not that I can, I have. There's times that you won't, and that's when we'll bring us to the follow-up. So, couple things. You can use a close like this after you go through the contingency and you present everything. Miss, Mr., Mrs., Sir, whatever, doctor, I don't care who you're talking to. Now that we've gone through this, I know you need to be on the same page with your partner or your spouse or whatever it is. And I just want to ask you outright, with where you are right now, is this something you'd like to move forward with? If I hear yes, then I'm going to go in for the close. If I hear yes, but, I'm gonna go in for the follow-up. So here's the examples. Yeah, it is, but I need to talk to my husband, wife, girlfriend, partner, whatever. Say, how about this? First option, by the way, is to go in for the close. And we do it by using, and again, some owners now may disagree with me, but say, listen, I can extend a cancellation period for you for 24 hours. We're here, we've gone through this. I know you need to talk it over with your husband. That way you got nothing to risk. So if you do just want to get moving on this and get you in queue so we can get working on this for you right away, we can get this document executed, autographed, ready to rock, and what I'll do is just extend, I'll follow up with you in 24 hours should anything change. So you can get those on the spot with a verbal 24-hour extension so they have that option to back out. I know. Adam, why would you tell someone that they can cancel? They're just gonna call and cancel. Well, guess what? You had two options, right? Option one was you were already there, you had their attention, do you try to close it? I'm gonna say three. Option two is to come back, which they might cancel the appointment and you don't even get back there. Or option three, you try to close this thing on the spot because you're right there anyway and roll the dice. I'm a gambling man, that's how I do it. Now, if he or she will not sign the document to get moving, whether it's retail or insurance, that is A-okay. Because what just happened? You have earned one yes vote and you can set the follow-up. So here's what you want to do. Whichever homeowner or partner is home, listen, I really appreciate your time today. We covered a lot of ground and I'm sure you're going to want to talk to your spouse about this decision in order to move forward. So what I'd love to do is be in your corner and on your side, and I know what it's like. Drinking from a fire hose. We went through a lot of information. So what I'd love to do for you is to offer to come back so your spouse can drill me with all those questions. I know you're on board and ready to go. That way we can just keep the short, punchy to the point. You don't have to be the relayer of information. I'll be the punching bag. I'll hammer it all out. So when, keyword on the follow-up, when is a good time for me to come back when you're both home? And then what you want to do, let me set this aside here, okay? When is a good time for me to come back when you're both home? I want you to watch the body language. I'm going to turn, I'm going to grab my pen. You see me do this in the referral program as well. And I'm going to look down and wait. And then I'm going to give 2 dates. One is going to be the next day and one is going to be 2 days later. So let's say Wednesday or Friday better for you. I'm not going to look at them. I'm not going to make eye contact. I'm looking at my paper and I'm assuming. And then they're going to say, Friday, excellent. I got Friday. So morning, afternoon, or evening. And they're going to tell me, let's say evening. All right, perfect. How's 6 o'clock? Perfect. 6 o'clock on Friday. I'll be back. If you have any questions between now and then, you let me know. I'd be happy to get you taken care of. All right? So I'll see you Friday, 6 o'clock. Thank you so much, Peggy. We'll talk to you soon. And then you follow up. Remember to send those text reminders so you know that they're there and you won't get blown off. So by following the tips in this video, my goal is to help you close the next one-legger. And remember, all you need to do is get 2 yes votes. So do everything you can to get the first vote along the way. Follow these tips, and I'm sure you will do it. Now, this video, just because we are about to wrap up, doesn't mean my time with you has to come to an end. So if you want more help closing, watch this video to learn my car park closing formula. And if you haven't yet done it, click right here to get a free copy of my Pitch Like a Pro Roofing Sales Training video library, and I will see you on the next one. Congrats again, Lucian, for that $120K commission. Hopefully I hear your story next.